Greetings, friends, and I welcome you to today's presentation, which is entitled Being a Student of Life. Being a student of life. We know that when it comes to one being a student, it means they have, in a way, enrolled themselves to an institution in the quest to acquire some knowledge, which could be on specific competencies that they would use for their livelihood. It's out of acquiring knowledge that we are able to do things in a certain way. People who are knowledgeable about something will do things in a different way compared to those who may not be knowledgeable about that same area of competencies. So when we talk about being a student of life, we are talking about another school, which, whether we like it or not, we have found ourselves having been enrolled to. For as long as we are alive, we are on this journey of learning on a daily basis. And it is out of that learning that we get to know what is supposed to be done and what is not supposed to be done. We tend to know the advantages and disadvantages of doing something or not doing it at all. We wake up on a daily basis to face lessons that life brings to us. The question would be, no matter how many years we might be, what lessons have we learned? What lessons are we learning? It is a call on each and every one of us to endeavor to learn something on a daily basis. Every encounter we find ourselves in, it is a learning platform. When you have an interaction with somebody, that is a learning platform. When you are at work, you are learning something. When you are walking in the streets, you are learning something. When you are driving, you are learning something. Wherever we are to find ourselves, we need to know it's just but one set of a classroom in this bigger school of life. Now, many people talk about experience being the best teacher. Indeed, experience is the best teacher. We can learn from our own experiences. The way we dealt with things yesterday may not be the way we are to deal with the same things today, based on the lessons that we learned when we first encountered that same very first experience. And so some of the experiences are good, some of the experiences are not good. But whichever way, whether it's a good experience or it's a bad experience, we learn from any experience that we find ourselves in. What we are to take as a serious thing is really to note that from whichever experience, we should not repeat some of the things that would have worked against us, for instance, and then we do the same thing over and over, expecting it to work in a different way, even when we have experienced it before. That will be folly of ourselves. From the good experiences, we should be able to learn or how to do things even better. So we continue to perfect on the good experiences until we get to the optimal level of doing things, and then we get more of the benefit than any negative effect that we may get from there. From the way we relate, for instance, from the aspect of friendships that we have had to go through in our lives, what is it that we have learned? Can we continue with the same way of doing things if we are to find another friendship with other people? We are to learn that this we can do, this we cannot do. For those who are students, We cannot expect success where we are riding on the experience of a failure when we engaged ourselves in a certain set of activities. So the only wisest thing for us to do is to learn on a daily basis so that we avoid the inevitables in the encounters that we have today and the encounters that we have tomorrow, so that we gain on a daily basis. And if anybody is to ask us of our experiences, we'll be more on the guiding side to tell them on the brighter side of doing things. And then we can learn from others also. The fact that experience is the very best teacher we have does not mean we have to experience in everything, because sometimes our experience may not work out to our advantage. Sometimes the experience that we go through may be the last moment of our lives where we may never live to learn lessons tomorrow because it would have claimed our lives. So don't always aim to say, until I go through this path, until I go through this experience, because you may not be there to learn anything. Whilst others are privileged to learn something from their experiences, some people may not be privileged to learn anything from their experiences because they may not be there. The question as I come to the close is, in this bigger school of life, what lesson points have we gathered over time? Have we made it a deliberate rule that every time we go out, we have our open minds to learn something? And when we learn something, we should be able to put it to practice in a way that safeguards our being, in a way that promotes that which we do, in a way that makes us to grow from one level to another. My encouragement this time as I share this talk is that let us make it a must that we will be ardent students of life. We should not take any experience for granted. Any experience we are to go through, any experience we are to hear that others went through, should not just be taken for granted and be thrown in the dustbin, but it should be taken and be put to good use. The things that we can put to good use, we make them to be of that good use. The things that we are to say, this is a no-go area based on my experience or based on the other person's experience, we are just to do like that. Being students of life, we need to learn from those who have gone ahead of us. I'll take this one on the aspect of children relating to their parents. When parents share their experiences, when they tell us this you should not do because this may be the end result and it may not end well with you, we are to know that they speak from experience, and they might have gone through something that through their parental love they will not want any of us to go through, because it may not be a good experience with us. I pray and hope that all of us will indeed endeavor to be students of life, enrolled in this school where no one can refuse to be enrolled, because for as long as you are breathing, for as long as you are eating, for as long as you are walking, for as long as you are mingling with other people, for as long as you exist in one country, in one community, in one continent, that same place in which you are, that same situation in which you are, is part of the many classrooms that you are to encounter in this big global school of life. I wish you well. Thank you very much.